Welcome back to Around the Tiers. Now joining me in studio, local author to discuss his two books, Paul D. Smith. Hello, Paul. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm great.
Yes, thank you for joining me. So start off telling me a little bit about when you started writing, how you got into this.
Right, so it was back around 2013 I started writing. My inspiration really was to write something that I feel comfortable reading to my kids. My wife was great about reading to my kids. I'm like, you know what, that would be fun if I could write something that we could read to them, and they were very little back then. So that's what inspired me to kind of my lifelong love of dragons, and then to start writing again. So yeah, that's where that all came from.
Okay, yeah, so you said you want to write for that age demographics, and this book is kind of aged towards that. So tell me about the storyline. It looks like a big book, too, so there's a lot going on in there.
It is. So the Jason the Draconaut series is 5 novels, and it's a contemporary fantasy. The overall premise is what happens if dragons return in the 21st century. And the dragons are good guys in the story. They're the intelligent talking dragons. And I write towards like a middle school, early high school reading level. I like to think all ages would enjoy it, but that's the reading level I write for.
All right, awesome. Is there any specific themes in this book, too, that people could, take away from the story?
Sure. The idea of, if you think of different plot elements like a fish out of water, kind of like the whole idea of a hero's journey, what makes a hero? The dragons are back from being gone for centuries, so what's it like for them to adjust to the 21st century?
Yeah,
that
right?
sort of thing, yeah.
I like that the dragons are, good guys in the story.
Are.
It's like How to Train Your Dragon 2, how they become the good guys as well. I love that movie. So you have another book. Tell me about that kind of adventure series.
Yes, so the Dungeons & Dragons Adventures, and you see Obinkus, we're out there in front of you. Those are adventures for the Dungeons & Dragons game, 5th edition. I actually started writing those a few years ago. I started teaching kids how to play the game and teaching kids how to run the game. And for them, the price point was a little intimidating. When I was a kid, a D&D adventure was $5 or $6 at the local hobby store. So that was my inspiration to make something that kids could afford. And that was just a nice entry point for the game, especially for young people.
Yeah, I've never played the game, but tell me, because you teach it, so tell me why you would recommend people to start playing it and why you love playing it so much.
Yeah, I think the idea of getting people just together around a table, looking at each other face to face, using their imagination, playing a game, is really the draw and what brings people and what is bringing people back to this hobby. D&D isn't the only tabletop role-playing game, but it's the most popular one. It's like the golden child of them all. So that's what I love about it. It gets people to the table. You engage your creativity. You're talking to people. So much is done online these days, so there's something to be said for that, I think.
Yeah, I know people that do enjoy playing the game, and they've said that similar thing, getting to sit with their friends and just going on an adventure, per se.
Yes.
And so this book is the first of a series.
Right.
Tell me kind of your future goals with that.
Right, so D&D is interesting because it's not necessarily like an overall plot, but your characters advance in the levels, they call them in the game. And so you write modules for different levels characters. So the first one is for beginning characters. The second one I have published is for kind of like early on levels, and then I'm working on a third one right now for all those D&D fans out there, would bring your characters to level 5, and then you can decide from there. So the third one is in the works right now.
All right, awesome. And other than those adventure series in the works, do you really hope that you get yourself into anything else in the future? Do you have any future ideas? Because I feel like as an author, you can go so many ways.
I do. It's funny that you asked that. So after I wrapped up the Jason the Draconaut series, I did start a science fiction series. I got it mapped out, I planned it out, and then COVID hit. And a lot of things happened to people's creativity during COVID, so that one kind of went on the back burner. A couple months ago, I had an aha moment regarding that book, because as an author, you're always playing plot points through your head. And I'm like, maybe it's time to pick the sci-fi series back up again. So after Adventure 3 comes out, we might look at dusting off the Word documents that those are saved as and seeing to pick those back up again.
Okay, awesome. No, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So for people that have read these so far, tell me about a little bit of the feedback that you've gotten or any of the stories that people might have had from reading the books.
So I love this question. When I was at a convention selling this after like maybe the first 3 books and the Jason and the Draconaut series was out, young girl came by the table, bought the first book. It was a 2-day convention. Came back the next day to my table. She'd read the first book cover to cover. It's 370 pages.
Oh wow!
She read it in 24
it is
hours.
a big book.
Yeah, and her mom said that she was just riveted the whole time. And it's really fun because that mom, she and I just still connect every once in a while over Facebook. I hear about her kids, I see how they've grown up, that sort of thing. So I get feedback from, especially from kids that read it, that have loved it, that were kept engaged. They loved the humor that I put into it. They loved the relatability of the characters, both the humans and the dragons. So that's been some of the feedback I've gotten.
All right, awesome. Well, if people want to read the story more and get their own thing from the books as well, where can they find your 2 books?
So everything's available on Amazon.
Okay.
Just you can search by the titles. I have a website, pauldsmithauthor.com. And if you want a signed copy, you can reach out to me through the website and we'll figure something out.
All right, awesome. Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and good luck with your future endeavors in the author world.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yes, of course, of course. For those of you who might have missed those details, Paul D. Smith is a local author who creates engaging stories for young readers and tabletop gamers. His Jason and the Draconaut series, a self-published contemporary fantasy, invites middle grade and early high school readers into an exciting world where dragons return to the 21st century. Additionally, Paul's first adventure series is perfect for newcomers to Dungeons & Dragons and offers beginner-friendly resources for both players and dungeon masters. You can visit pauldsmithauthor.com to learn more about Paul's work and upcoming events.